Hello, welcome to the Spotlight Show. I'm your host. My name is Jabez Napoleon Ogbale. I'm very happy to be with you wherever you may be watching me from. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And thank you for taking time away from your busy schedule to be with us tonight on the Spotlight Show. We're very happy to have you with us today, and we are very glad that you continue to support this program. So we're coming live to you from the GBKM studio in Toronto. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So please tell your friends and family, your loved one about this program. Remember, the Spotlight Show is all about you and me, how we can be able to educate ourselves, inform ourselves about the opportunities in our community. And that way we can be able to make informed decisions, that enables us to grow as a person and as a community. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We are live right now on our social media handles, Facebook and YouTube, GBKM TV, and Instagram, GBKM FM. So please subscribe and click that like button. Remember, our network is the mouthpiece of the community, and we have several programs that have so much information for you. Go to our website. The network website is www.gbkm.fm, and you can see other programs and schedules as well. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said before, do not forget to share and tell your friends about this wonderful show. Today is going to be very interesting. Why so? Because the topic for discussion is all about me and you. And what is that? How you can grow your connection. Okay? How you can make new connection to grow your net what? I didn't say network. If you want to network, go to Facebook, go to LinkedIn. Your net what? Okay? And that is what we're going to be talking about today. With me in the studio is a wonderful gentleman, an entrepreneur, okay, who's going to be helping us shed some light into how we can take advantage of those information and initiatives within our community right here in the diaspora, specifically in Canada. And I want to say thank you to all our sponsors that make this show possible, including you watching us from home, whether it be from your phone or your tablet. Thank you very much. I want to give a shout out to the Africa Young Entrepreneur. It's a network of young entrepreneurs across the continent of Africa. They are based out of Johannesburg in South Africa. Check them out. Their website is www.ayeonline.org. A wonderful initiative led by a wonderful gentleman of whom I've met and I work closely with as well. And also thanks to Imani's Place. Imani's Place makes this possible. They have a wonderful shelter. It's a black-led organization. It's a shelter for women between the ages of 18 to 35 who are victims of domestic violence, sex trafficking, and homelessness. So please check out their website. Show them your love. Make donations and call them. If you know of anyone, any lady, regardless of the color or race, please reach out to them and they'll be able to help. They have so much resources available that they can help reintegrate these beautiful sisters and daughters of ours back into the community. And of course, Pan-Africa Arts Culture and Trade Institute, a wonderful organization based out of Toronto in Canada. What do? Exhibitions, seminars, training programs, trying to foster trade and alliances, between Canada and the continent of Africa. A wonderful opportunity for you to join these people. They are out there supporting every community, being from Africa or for Caribbeans. They'll be doing that in conjunction with the Commonwealth group of countries and all the embassies right here in Canada. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go into today's topic. How you can make new connection to grow your network, okay? Build that brand or that your business, grow it further. And that's what this show is all about, giving you wonderful information. Like I always say, we do the heavy lifting. You have to just relax, digest the information, and that way analyze and be able to think critically and make informed decisions. You can always reach out to us at the studio. Give us your comments on YouTube. Remember, our YouTube channel is GBKM TV. Same on Facebook as well. Leave your comments there. Or send me an email, spotlight@gbkm.fm. Send me an email. Or you can send me a direct message on my Instagram page at Jabez, JAYGBES. All right. So, yes, we're going to go into that wonderful discussion that you've been waiting for. And like I said, my guest is an advocate for the black community here in Canada. Is an entrepreneur, a wonderful gentleman. And just stay tuned. We're going to go on a quick short break, and when we come back, we're going to introduce our guest, and we're going to go into that discussion of how you can grow your business, how you can grow your idea, how you can take your product to market, and of course, the most important thing, how can you grow your net worth. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Resume to career@gbkm.fm. That is career, CAREER, at gbkm.fm. It's time to turn your passion into a career. Do you believe you could host an entertaining, engaging, and thoughtful weekly show? Or are you a business person or entrepreneur interested in building a brand for yourself? Can you connect with an audience and have strong social media skills? If so, the GBKM Network would love to invite you to join our team. We're looking for driven, genuine folks who are willing to work hard as an independent broadcaster. If this sounds like you, come join our team. For more information, email your resume to career@gbkm.fm. That is career, CAREER, at gbkm.fm. It's time to turn your passion into a career. Do you believe you could...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying tuned. We are back now. And like I said, if you're just joining us, you haven't missed much, so stay tuned as we share wonderful information, have a great discussion today with our special guest on the show. Remember to, share, tell your friends about this, including your, the naysayers, your haters. Let everybody be able to grow within the black community. My guest today is a very wonderful gentleman based out of Ontario in Canada here. He's an advocate, like I said, for economic development in the black community. He's also an author and also the founding member of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. And he's going to tell us a whole wonderful, give us wonderful information on business coaching, grant writing, community engagement, which is what their network actually provide and support. And my guest today is no other than Mr. Ryan O'Neal Knight. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it.
Very happy to have you on the show today.
Yes.
And how you feeling today?
I feel blessed.
Awesome.
I mean, even try to take the day off and spend time with the family.
Nice.
Even Thursday, we went out and found some beaches that
Oh,
are in Canada. You don't think that there's nice beaches, but there are.
Yes.
Take some time with the family. So that always recharges you, Get your energy filled back up.
Awesome, Ryan. Yes, I totally encourage that for everyone listening out there. Remember, it's not all work. Have time with your family and friends, okay? Discover new locations and attractions in your community. So, Ryan, tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, I'll give you the quick rundown. So, I am the founder of a social enterprise called Detail Ignites.
Nice.
Started it back in 2009. Unfortunately, it was 2 weeks before I was getting married. I got laid off.
Wow.
And that's where I said, okay, I need to be able to control my own destiny. My dad had always hinted at entrepreneurship. If you want to be rich, start your own business. So I said, okay, take this time, went back to school, finished at Sheridan College. So shout out to alumni at Sheridan. And as the company was growing, we realized that we could do a lot more in the community. So started a youth entrepreneurship program. So because we deliver a mobile waterless car cleaning service, we go to people's houses or their offices. We could work with youth in the community that are just in high school, college, or university, and even those coming right out of detention.
Yes.
We can teach them how to start their own business.
Awesome.
And that kind of parlayed into the Afro-Caribbean Business Network.
Awesome.
We were seeing that a lot of our youth that were graduating didn't have community support, especially in Brampton. I live in Brampton, and there were no black-focused business organizations.
Yes.
And so that's why we decided to come together as business owners ourselves and say, hey, we can put together a resource hub for entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage to see where they are right now and then scale them up and get them starting to talk about legacy building and how to leave that asset to your family and to the community.
Wow, that's quite interesting and an amazing journey. What I got from there is that you started a business when you're about to get married, and at the same time you got laid off.
Yes.
Oh my God! Tell me more. How were you? Because when you're in that position, so many thoughts are going through your mind. What gave you that inspiration to say, you know what, I'm going to start up a business?
Yeah, and it's like it's do or die time, right? It's like, how am I going to provide for my family? So realizing that my brother loved to clean cars and I was going back to school for accounting and business admin. So I feel like I could do the business side of it and get business for my brother. But now every day we had a quota. We have to hit $100. So we go and knock on as many doors as it took, sometimes 100, sometimes 150 in order to hit that mark. So that's what we try to instill in the youth that we work with.
Yes.
You have to have that grit, that persistence. You can't just go out there and knock on 10 doors and feel like you've actually given it your all. That is just the tip of the iceberg on your effort and your potential, especially.
Exactly. So for all aspiring entrepreneurs out there, you heard the man. Persistence is very important.
Yes.
So tell us, what are some of the, support you got Why trying to start that business? Maybe from friends and family or from the government?
Well, it definitely started with friends, well, family, I would say. I mean, my father-in-law showed me about the waterless car cleaning product. He gave me my first loan to go and get the supplies. And then the rest of the friends and family, we went out to them and said, hey, I have this idea for this business. Would you be able to support it? So getting them on board really got me the kickstart. And then beyond that, it's now navigating bank loans, navigating different grants. And a lot of the resources that I've been able to find, we can now keep that like kind of a repository.
Okay.
So if other entrepreneurs are looking for how to get grants or funding, we're like all these things that I've learned on my journey, we're able to now give the knowledge back through the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. So that's where it's a lot about my research and different experts in the community, getting them to really put an ecosystem around our business owners.
Oh, awesome. That's good. We're gonna get into more discussion about the Afro-Caribbean Business Network shortly. But before we do that, the entire globe has a common enemy right now. And we know COVID-19 has really impacted everyone in some shape or form, be the business owner or career person. So tell me, in your opinion, how do you see the impact of the COVID-19 restriction, within the Black community as a community advocate?
Yeah, and I'll even, like, for me personally, with the car cleaning, it came to a complete halt. And luckily, we had to really pivot and say, hey, we can do disinfection and sanitization. And we were able to get a contract with the City of Toronto that we're still doing homeless outreach. So we were able to help them keep their vans safe. Wow. But now coming out of COVID and with the rest of the community, we've been able to do surveys to really dig deep on how it's impacting. And the biggest thing, if they didn't get completely dismantled and shut down, it's navigating the supports. So a lot of incentives come through the government, and every day you're getting emails, every day you were getting updates. So we were able to take that information, create workshops, create webinars to walk you through how to do the applications to make sure that people got it. But then what we were finding when we did our survey is that one, either people didn't know about the incentives, or two, they actually qualified all the criteria, but they were still getting denied. So that CEBA, the $40,000 that you get through your banks, we were still finding that people that had all the criteria were being declined by their banks. So the data is now allowing us to talk to the governments and say, hey, your programs are not hitting a good chunk of our community. Even the survey that we did in 2019, we were seeing 71% of entrepreneurs are either self-employed, sole proprietors, or unregistered. So either of those things, so 71%, let's say out of 1,000, do not even qualify for the new regional recovery regional recovery and relief fund, the RRRF, that's done through FedDev. So right off the bat, if you're not incorporated, you do not qualify. So you wonder, whoever's talking to our government about the needs of the Black community either don't know how to talk to the government properly to get effective change, or the government is not listening. So we have to really figure out a focused approach to get supports that are going to get directly to our community. And beyond that, it's really on us now. I feel like our community, all the support organizations that exist, we have to put together our resources so that entrepreneurs, when they come to us, they're able to get the support they need, at least to stay afloat, and then I would say stack on different incentives from the government. But internally, we should be able to figure out what we need to do for ourselves.
Wow, that's amazing and very powerful. And for everyone watching, you heard what Ryan just said. The Afro-Caribbean Business Network have so much information and resources that can help you as an entrepreneur, a small business owner. So I always tell people, stop those approach or trying to do things yourself. Because when you're trying to reinvent the wheel, you're just going to make the same mistake that people have made in the past and they now have solution for. Okay, so Afro-Caribbean Business Network is one of those organizations you should reach out to. And we have the man here. I call him the encyclopedia. He has so much information. And for those of us watching, whether you're in the continent, in the Caribbean, any part of the world, in Europe, Middle East Asia, or even in Canada here, you have friends and family within this country, and they will benefit from this information. So this is very important for you to share with them. And we're going to go into the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. So tell me, what do they do?
Yeah, well, I guess point blank, our mission is to unite and educate Caribbean entrepreneurs of Caribbean and African heritage. And so when we say unite, we look to reach out to all the other organizations that are now working with the Black community. If you call yourself a business support organization and you're focused on entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage, we all want to be talking the same language. So we have over 20 organizations that have signed on to the business coalition, the Black Business Coalition. That includes the the Black Chamber of Commerce, the Nigerian Canadian Business Network. There's 20 of them, like COFP, all these, or BBPA, everybody that's doing the same thing and needs to be supporting our community. We are now going to be moving as one unit. And what ACBN specifically does is now, like I was saying, create that repository of information. So we did a test pilot podcast to bring entrepreneurs that have the expertise in our community to teach. So now we were able to talk to them, interview them, get them to understand like where their background is, kind of like how you're interviewing me and you know what's been my history, but now also doing a presentation. So if you're an expert in marketing, if you're an expert in legal issues, if you're an expert in accounting and HR, you're able to create a presentation that us business owners can now tap into when we're starting out, or even if we're already established, we now can tap into that to make sure that each aspect of our business is fine-tuned. Because I'm learning as an entrepreneur myself, there's always different levels, you know, and then you get to a certain level, and in order to get to that next plateau, you have to completely relearn. And you never want to feel like you know it all, you figured it out. Because when we hit over 100,000, and then you bump into entrepreneurs that are doing millions of dollars, you're like, I'm a baby in this game. So that's where we have to really listen to our elders, our entrepreneurs that are more experienced. And I remember Jacqueline, she was at our First Fridays event, and she was talking about her business journey, and she's built and sold companies. I'm like, I'm not even close to that. So I gotta learn, you know? So you start to bring on more expertise that exists. But listen, I feel like in our community, we like to just be small companies. And we have to start thinking bigger. We have to start thinking enterprise. We have to start thinking organizational structure, systems, processes, incorporating technology, having seamless supply chains that are automated. All these things that I'm learning, I feel like we need to learn them together. And if we have those stronger companies, the community is going to grow. And a lot of the other pillars, I call them, in the community that need support, if our economic base is strong, we can now support health, justice, education, the family. But if our economics is poor, everything else suffers.
That's right. No, that's wonderful information you just made me to be aware of, and I'm very grateful for that. So like I said, you know, to not be intimidated. You understand? Coca-Cola started from the mind of the founder, and it grew to what? A global conglomerate today. You understand? So, like Ron said, don't be small-minded. Don't just think of, I want to create a small business. No, think of generational wealth. Create a business 100%. That can impact mankind and pass it across, you know, from generation to generation. So please reach out to the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. Like, they're doing amazingly well. You don't now need to reach out to different organization or association. It's like a one-stop shop. Okay, go there, check out their website, you know, register and reach out to them, and you know, share your idea with them. And in whatever way they can help you with it, they will always help you. I know that for a fact. They will never discourage you. Okay, so very wonderful. Thank you so much, Ryan. And you know, of recent, because of the COVID-19 and everybody's home now, there's been a lot of you know, opportunity for people to grow you know, their intellect in terms of business, their skills. And I know you run some sessions, or you know people that run some mentoring sessions for entrepreneurs. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we started a co-working space in Brampton called Empowered for X. So at that space, we also got funding to run a youth entrepreneurship not a boot camp, more like an incubator. So before COVID, youth that were under 30 and starting their own businesses, they were able to come and get mentoring. It was Tuesdays and Thursdays, and now it's shifted online. So you're able to come onto our Zoom calls. We do Zoom meetings and just ask questions. If you're early stage or just have an idea, you're able to now share it with experts and community members that are offering their time to mentor our youth. And beyond that, we're now like amplifying that accelerator. So we want to be able to take businesses from ideation, or even those that are, let's say, 1 to 3 years in business, and really fine tune, like I was saying, each aspect of their business, whether it be their accounting, marketing, sales, all these things that we have to think about. Now you're going to get support from us, very direct, focused support, so that you can be investment ready. And that ties into a lot of the funding that's available. We try to do as many workshops as we can. We do working groups. We say, hey, this grant is available. Come first, learn about it. So we do an info session, and then also let's work on it. So we'll do a working group so you can ask your questions. We go through each question and make sure that you understand it. And now with the investment readiness program, you can get between $10,000 to $100,000, and it's going to open back in September. So before September, we want to be working with you to make sure that your application is as strong as possible. And not just that your application is strong, but your business is strong. Because the government wants to see that your business, if you get a grant to start fine-tuning key areas, you're going to be investment ready to bring on hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars of investment to now amplify your social impact. So don't just think, like we were talking about, don't just think small.
Yeah.
Money is there for you to really get your business right and grow it. So like take the money and grow your impact. You already are doing great things. Now position yourself in front of the flow of money so that you're not stressed every single day.
Exactly. Wonderful information. Thanks, Ryan. You just heard it from the man. Ryan had to learn based on experience. You don't have to go through that.
Right.
Okay? You're trying to raise money from friends and family or your own savings. There's so much grants.
Yes.
So much grants that can help you kickstart that idea, that can help you take that business to market, take that product, to the next level. So guys, reach out. So Ryan, if from all these sessions, there's so many numerous sessions, so many numerous grants, how can people have access to this? Do they have to go through ACBN or reach out to you directly?
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a hold of me, I will give you my number, 647-225-3309, or you can go to acbn.com. We usually put up our upcoming workshops there, and also Empowered for X. So empoweredforx.com, that's a number 4. And my personal email is ryan.knight@acbncanada.com. So typically get on our email list, get on our newsletter. I'm always sending, get on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is usually what I use to let people know about upcoming things. But yeah, the accelerator that's going to get people prepared for funding is going to be opening on August 24th. So a lot of the advertisement for that's going to be coming up very shortly.
Awesome.
Yes.
So if you're in the GTA, all right, in the city of Toronto, look at the workspace based in Brampton. So reach out. You have so much opportunity, guys. This is what this show is about. I'm here to give you those information. Act on it, because I'm going to act on it. Okay, I'm not just here to talk. I'm building business empires as well. Okay, True. I want to be an employer of labor just like you. But I'm not going to be selfish with that information. We have to carry ourselves along.
Yes.
Okay, so that's very important. And now we'll be talking about entrepreneurship and business, which is very key and vital. And this is what we need. Because remember, in every, whenever there's a global event or recession or a pandemic like this, it spurs innovation.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And new businesses are created. So this is your opportunity right now. Look at in the past shows I've talked about some businesses that have taken advantage of some of these gaps and they're doing very well. Some of the even new startups are even in the process of going IPO, going public to sell shares.
Excellent.
And that's the next level you want to take your business to. Okay? You don't want to be a one-man thing. Okay? So reach out and take advantage of that. So Ryan, something happened in the North recently. The Black Knot Initiative. For we in Canada, for those watching outside of the country may not understand, recently due to what happened in the United States with systemic racism, Canada too is not left out. There's systemic racism here as well. A wonderful gentleman and group of people came together and formed an initiative called the Black Knot. They want to try and end systemic racism and give people of color an opportunity in the boardrooms, and so many executive positions. So Ryan was one of the first people that made me aware of such initiative. And just, can you share some light into that, Ryan?
Yeah, and real shout out to Wes Hall, who has put together Black North. And I remember a year or so ago, Chris Beth and I, we went to meet with him. Chris Beth's my business partner. And we sat down and we had talked about the different issues happening in the community. And I remember him saying it was difficult for him to take up the charge. And now with what happened with George Floyd, a lot of people have seen the light, I would say, and he has stepped completely in to make sure that we tackle anti-Black racism. And I love that. But from my perspective, it's now, what is Black North going to do to support business owners? Because yes, we can help people get internships at different, let's say, blue chip companies like CIBC or Cisco, but how do we create more Wes Halls? Wes Hall didn't have to get an internship at CIBC in order to get where he is. He realized he could build something himself. And I love the blueprint that they've ironed out, and they showed it at the summit that happened back on July 20th, where each segment of a community focus has its own committee. They have a great board of directors. I believe you're talking about a GoFundMe that they're working on to raise money for this initiative. All that is amazing. And I feel like if he is in perfect position to execute something like this, because Kingsdale Advisors, they actually work as a proxy to organize shareholders and get them talking with one message. And that's what the Black community needs. We need organization. So he's in good position to organize us. It's now making sure that each aspect of what the community needs is addressed. And I'm seeing that there's not a lot for specifically Black owned businesses. So I'm going to always be in his ear talking about, what are you going to do for us entrepreneurs? How are you going to help us get access to CEOs that can teach us things? We don't just want an internship at their company. We want people that work there that are managing massive 2,000 plus employees, $1 million budgets, to show us how to create that type of infrastructure. That to me is a lot more valuable. So give us time with these CEOs and COOs and these C-suites. I don't just want a board seat. I want to build out my own blue chip company.
That's interesting, and I do concur with what you just said. I can relate to that, and so please, Wes, if you get this message, reach out to the grassroots community, and share some of those wonderful initiatives that you have plans for.
Yes.
And we do really appreciate what you're doing. Amplifying the Black voices, because one way or the other, we're all impacted by this systemic racism, be it in the diaspora
definitely.
or even back home in the Caribbean or the continent. But we have to put a stop to that, and that's why the conversation is going on right now, guys. All right. There's something I found out about Ryan, which is very amazing. Ryan has a daughter, and she's an entrepreneur. Wonderful. But before we go there, Ryan, let's talk about, there's this common saying that Black take individualistic approach to business, to everything in life. They want to be the first, the best or the first Black person to do this and do that. They're not taking advantage of group economics, like some other communities, like the Italians, the Jews, and all that, because it takes a group of people to actually have a common goal, and that way they can accelerate faster.
So true.
So what do you think about that? Do you agree or disagree?
I would agree that, and listen, I'm not talking for everybody in the Black community, but there has to be a point where you humble yourself. And this is especially with business operations, it's knowing what your strengths are and then knowing who to trust in your areas of weakness. So you're building that team, you're looking for A players, and every entrepreneur in our community can give you a story about hiring somebody and getting burned. And then they just retract and say, listen, I'm not hiring anybody, or I'm not dealing with any more Jamaicans, I'm not dealing with any more Trinidadians. Everybody has a story. So what we have to learn is that infrastructure, when you put it in place, it's about people and putting the right people in the right places. And if you can't work with anybody else, it's going to be very difficult for you to build an enterprise. And that's why a lot of us are very comfortable with our ma pa shop, a solopreneur. You're a barber, you're running the cash register, you're cutting hair, you're running the cash register, you're cutting hair till you die. That to me has to change, and the only way it'll change is when we start trusting each other. But a lot of us talk about unity and we talk about trust, but we haven't created mechanisms to build it. And even we're working with like a susu as a way to, very small, you put in a pot, you get your money, you get your draw. Like Caribbean, we all know about susu and partners. So use tools like this to build up financial trust. Don't just force people into, we all need to work together, so we're going to start this multi-million-dollar company and everybody's going to get along. It doesn't work like that. There has to be stepping stones, and I feel like until we start like at step 1, we're never going to get to step 100. But what that step 1 looks like, we have to map it out for ourselves. We shouldn't let anybody come into our community and say, this is exactly what you need to do. We all need to sit at the table and talk amongst ourselves and say, okay, what does a good step 1 look like? And knowing what the end game is. If we know we want to get to strategic alliances, joint venture partnerships, community hubs, all these great aspirational things, okay, step 1 to there looks like X. And we agree on that. And then we keep stepping and putting one brick at a time. But we can't force it. I feel like yes, there's a lot of spotlight on anti-black racism right now, but we can't force it. We have to be able to really build this together.
Yeah, and that is true, Ryan. Remember, yes, the talk is all about the black racism. It didn't start today. It didn't start in this decade. There's always been the talk, and it's always going to happen until we take control of the narrative. Okay, you that's been affected is the best person to tell the story.
True.
Not someone else who think he or she is an expert. And I always tell people, black is not a nationality. It's the color of your skin. There's a soul behind that person. So if you have a negative experience for one black individual, do not stereotype and say, oh, I don't live in black communities, I don't deal with black people. Come on. You can't avoid that. Your family, members of your family are always going to be black.
And you're really shooting yourself in the foot, because the only way to grow, like you're saying, is as a collective. You'll move a lot further.
Yes.
So if you do want to grow and you're serious about that, one, we have to structure our businesses properly, and two, we have to move away from the generalizations.
That's true. And remember, always focus on the end result. What is that common goal you're trying to pursue? Are you trying to create wealth? Let that be the focus. There's always going to be internal wranglings. There's always going to be people who's trying to sabotage you. It has nothing to do with the color of the skin. It's the mind. Okay? So, like Ryan said, people have a barber shop and there's just one person. Tries to run that till it passes away. Come on, guys, we should start to create wealth, and we should be able to trust ourselves. Okay, so this is very, very important. I've been blessed by this information that Ryan has shared, and definitely he's going to see me on that network very soon. I'm going to be very vocal about it, you know, because I have the opportunity to be. All right, guys, so this has been a very interesting show so far. Remember, send your comments on Facebook and on the YouTube channel as well, on Instagram, send your messages to us, or email spotlight@gbkm.fm, or reach out to me directly on my social media handle, Jaybes, Jaybes. And before we let Ryan go, like I said, Ryan has a daughter and she's an entrepreneur. So Ryan, tell us, how did she become a business owner?
You know, during COVID, we had always kind of bounced ideas back and forth about writing a book, and she mentioned her experience with starting her lemonade stand.
Wow.
We could write a book about it. So we kind of did the dialogue together, like what she would say, what I would say, and it came together. Jazz and Dad Start a Lemonade Stand is the book that we wrote, and we just did a quick GoFundMe to help raise money to, one, do the publishing, and as a pre-sales, so people can buy the book ahead of time. It should be still up. I think today is actually the last day, so if you see the link and it's expired, that means the book is in production. I do know that we passed our goal, so we're able to get it published, and it should be within a couple weeks. It'll be in our hands, and we're really excited. I mean, when she first saw the image on the front cover, and she sees like herself, it was amazing. And now we talk about different things. We don't just talk about YouTube videos. We talk about, what are some ideas on how we're going to sell the book? What are ideas on how it's laid out, and all these different types of conversations that are more entrepreneurial. And I'm glad we could start. She's only 7, just turned 8, so it's awesome to see that glow in her.
Yeah, that's amazing. Look at that. You know, 7 years old, already writing a book up. She already had a business, a lemonade stand, you know. So guys, I remember when I was growing up, I loved business. I loved to trade, because my mom, she was an entrepreneur, you know, but people will say, come on, go to school, you know, you need that education. Nothing's wrong with that. Please go to school, get educated so you can be more aware and competitive. But don't let your dreams die. You know, pursue that business. And I like what Ryan did. You started early. She wants to be an entrepreneur. He's supporting the daughter's dream. Now there's a book to that. Okay, who knows where that will go? I always tell everybody, that's from an idea. Yeah, go on, Ryan. Go on. What are you gonna say?
Well, I was just saying that because now we're talking about entrepreneurship, but school is still a priority. So, but it can always be there as your side hustle, because it keeps you thinking about finances and building up your wealth and building up ways to earn more money. Like the book was just one idea, and now that's going to lead to her brainstorming about different ideas. So it's always about that flexible mindset and being able to shift, and I think they call it having a growth mindset. So showing her that it's going to be difficult. You have to be brave to be an entrepreneur. That's in the book. And you have to be persistent. Just her being able to read that in her own words and her thinking about what it means to be an entrepreneur does a lot more than just sending her to school and having her sit in class all day. But now the combination of the two of them, that's what I feel like really amplify us and put us on another level.
Yes, and I agree with that. It's about time, you know, that we black people of color, you know, blacks in the diaspora and the continent as well, take advantage of all these opportunities, because, you know, you know, they say we are the leaders of the of the future. And now we have kids, and they are the leaders of tomorrow. And I like the fact that Ryan is supporting that. And Ryan, thank you so much. You've been an amazing guest, a subject matter expert in your field.
My pleasure.
I'm very happy to have you on this show. And definitely, when the book comes out, trust me, guys, we'll definitely share that with you and how you can get copies and all that. You know, we may even bring her on the show to talk about the book. So, guys, it's all about collective effort. Okay, we help one another to grow and make that impact. It's not about you. You understand? Like I said, don't make the same mistake of the past. You know, you have access to mentors, you have access to resources. Okay, reach out to Ryan, go to the Afro Caribbean Business Network and participate in some of those mentorship sessions and some of those initiatives happening in the community. Wherever you may be, this is online now. Okay, this information is not restricted to those in Canada.
Not restricted.
Exactly. So you have family and friends in the continent, in the Caribbean, all over the world. You know, in the Middle East or where not. Please let them be aware of this information. So guys, we've come to the end of the show. So I'm very happy for spending the time with me so far. I hope you'll be informed. I hope you take that idea, you know, work on it. Like I said, this is about what? Building your, making new connection to build your net worth, okay? Which is about business. 9 to 5, we give you paycheck, we give you, you know, salary month to month, you know, but what if you don't have that job in 2-3 months? Is your savings enough to take you? No, that's why you need business, okay? You begin to multiply and create that wealth. So thank you once again. So remember, share this information with your friends and family, including your naysayers and those who don't believe in your dreams. Show them that it is possible. All right, guys. So remember, subscribe, share this video on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram, GBKM TV, and Instagram, GBKM FM. So thank you so much. Check us out on our website, www.gbkm.fm. So remember, you're always in the spotlight. The change you seek begins with you. Good night.
Host an entertaining, engaging, and thoughtful weekly show? Or are you a business person or entrepreneur interested in building a brand for yourself? Can you connect with an audience and have strong social media skills? If so, the GBKM Network would love to invite you to join our team. We're looking for driven, genuine folks who are willing to work hard as an independent broadcaster. If this sounds like you, come join our team. For more information, email your resume to career@gbkm.fm. That is career, CAREER, @gbkm.fm. It's time to